So today's offering is to talk about two different types of mindfulness practices. And essentially, this is focused attention or concentration practice versus open awareness, or sometimes referred to as open monitoring. So both of these are very, very useful. So let's talk about first the focused attention or concentration practice. This is the type of mindfulness practice that most of us are familiar with. And essentially, what we do is we take our attention, we put it on an object of focus. The one that's used most often is breathing, the sensation, the experience of breathing, which is very useful because we have our breath with us all the time. So at any particular point, wherever we are, if we decide we want to do some practice, we can bring attention to the sensation of breathing in and breathing out. And we notice where it's most prevalent, perhaps in the belly, at the nostrils, perhaps on the upper lip as we inhale and exhale. Now, there are other things that we can focus on for sure. Some people use mantras, loving kindness practice. We repeat phrases. That can be a wonderful concentration practice. May I be happy, may I be peaceful, and so on, repeating these phrases. Some people look at a candle. Some people use beads that they move through their hands. A sound can be used, for example, as concentration. But let's talk about the breath because that's the one that's most common. So when we focus on the breath, we're not changing anything, we're not forcing anything. We're simply noticing that natural rhythm of breathing in and breathing out. Now, what happens when we do this? Well, if you're like me, what happens is I'm noticing breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And the next thing you know, my mind has wandered off and I'm thinking about what am I going to have for lunch? Or how come Bob hasn't returned my email? Or any other kind of random nonsense in many cases that just pulls me away. So, what do we do when that happens? We notice, oh, thinking. We return to breath. We gently let go of that thought and return back to the object of concentration. And we do it again and again. I've heard this referred to as forgetting and remembering, returning, returning back. And what this does is it helps us build concentration. It can be very helpful for relaxation, managing stress, but it also helps us start learning about the habits of our mind, learning about, wow, I spent a lot of time thinking about fill in the blank. I'm always in the past, I'm always in the future, I'm a worrier. Whatever is happening, we start developing a relationship with that, and we cultivate something called dual awareness. Dual awareness is the capacity to create a little bit of space between our observing mind and the object of whatever is arising and passing away. Another example would be maybe we're doing our sitting practice and a dog starts barking. So we notice the dog. We return to breath. Dog keeps barking. Return to breath. Then we start getting pissed off. We start noticing sensations in the belly or the chest or wherever we start feeling stress or anger or whatever the experience is. Then we notice the story. Why is that dog barking? That guy leaves it out in his yard all the time. That's not right, you know, and we get lost in story based on how we're interpreting this basic experience of sound. See? So maybe we start noticing how we relate to external experiences. So that is focused attention or concentration practice. The other one is open monitoring, and it's completely the opposite. We don't use an object of concentration. What we do is we simply sit and we just allow our awareness to open to whatever is happening, usually done with eyes open, although you don't have to, but eyes open allows you to really be present with the visual experience as well as everything else that's happening. Maybe you're sitting outside doing this and you can feel the sun on your arm or the breeze or whatever the experience is, the birds. You might feel internal sensation. Maybe your stomach's growling, or you're feeling hunger, or you notice a desire to drink something in your mouth. All this is happening, and what we do is imagine that our attention is sort of, I've heard it expressed like the whole world or our outer environment is like a circle, and our attention is just like a dot in the middle, extending outward, just allowing ourselves to take in the full range of experience. There's no efforting. In fact, it's sometimes referred to as effortless mindfulness. So we're not really doing much of anything except paying attention and allowing the experiences to unfold, arise and pass away, and being with it. And this really helps us really develop a capacity to just be more awake in general. And this is a practice that we can do at any time. When we park our car, this is something I like to do. I like to park way on the other end of a parking lot of wherever I'm going into, whether it's the grocery store or Lowe's or wherever it is. And I'll just lock the car, and I'll stand there and just open up my awareness and walk from the car to the store entrance, allowing myself to be open to the full range of experience, moving my body, noticing the sounds, the sights. I'm not focusing on breath or any specific object. I'm doing what's called open monitoring. So, this is a practice you can do informally in any situation. It's a practice that you can do formally. When you decide to sit down and do your sitting practice, you might try open monitoring and see what that's like. So, I hope that's helpful, and I'll see you next time.